Hi, Karen Curry Parker here with your weekly Human Design Evolution Report. We have this week some powerful energy, some provocative energy, some tension, some carryover from some of the things we were playing with last week, and I'll get to that in a minute. But before we talk about how you can make the most of the power and the energy of this week, we need to explore a little bit some basic human design concepts. The human design year is split into 4 quarters. Each quarter represents a different part of the creative process. So when we set our intentions at the beginning of the year, we go through this whole 4-quarter process with our creative intentions, bringing hopefully those intentions to fulfillment or fruition by mid-January. We are right now in the middle of the 3rd quarter. Every quarter starts with an energy that we call the Sphinx. The Sphinx energy is direction-giving energy. And so at the beginning of every human design creative quarter, we're given an opportunity from the planets to really get clear about what are we doing? Is there any tweaking that we need to do on our alignment with our intentions? Do we need to revisit our goals and intentions and improve them, make them more in alignment with who we are and what we're really wanting? In the middle of each quarter, we go through a recalibration process that asks of us, are we surrendering? Are we letting go? Are we trusting the universe enough? Is the way in which we're creating bringing us into more alignment, more harmony with the greater cosmic plan, our right place in the cosmic order, or that place where we serve our higher self and we use the expression of who we are to better the world. Notice that I said that we use the expression of who we are to better the world. This isn't necessarily about what you do. This is about you being the fullest, highest expression of who you are as the contribution you give the world. It's not what you do, it's who you be. We are this week in the middle of the 3rd quarter, which gives us an invitation from the planets to really explore, are we synced up with spirit? Are we creating in alignment with source? Are we letting go enough to trust that we can use our bodies in service to the cosmic flow when we stop and we listen and we pay attention to where that flow is, instead of pushing and ramrodding what we think we should do and forcing ourselves to take action and pushing ourselves beyond what the universe is telling us is correct with timing, beyond the circumstances that are set up. We're being basically invited to ask ourselves, how much do you trust the universe? Do you trust the universe enough to let go and let whatever it is you're creating unfold? And in the meantime, while you're doing that, are you also connecting to source, staying aligned with a conscious, deliberate relationship with spirit that allows you to really hear what's the next step and is the timing right and what do you need to do next or how do you need to be next? And it also is asking you to really look at your life and to make sure that your life, the breaths you take, the actions you take, the encounters you have, the things you dedicate your energy and your time to, are you treating the embodiment of your spirit, the essence of who you are, as sacred? Are you fully recognizing the value, the preciousness, the juiciness, the loveliness, the magnificence of who you really are? And are you living your life in such a way that you are really and truly honoring the story that you're living in, the story that your soul is occupying right now as part of its soul curriculum, and maybe as part of its learning process, and maybe because I believe also you're here for a reason, and that reason is sacred and it is precious. And we sometimes forget that. We lose connection with our value and the preciousness of this story you're living in. Life brings us moments to really embrace the preciousness, the sacredness of that story. Right now, I'm in Washington State with my oldest daughter who's getting ready to give birth to my first grandbaby. It's a waiting process right now. We're waiting. The baby sets the timing. Divine order sets the timing. But it's a pause in our lives right now. It's a very sacred pause because something very sacred is about to happen. But it's not just about those special moments where beautiful things happen, like babies are born or goals get met, that goals that you've been working for years. Every moment is a precious, sacred moment, and we forget that. We discount that sometimes. We get so caught up in the mentalness of it and measuring ourselves by metrics that measure our worth and our value, how much money you have, what kind of car you're driving, where you live, what kind of degree you have, that we forget that we're precious because we exist. You are precious because you exist. And you fulfilling the potential of who you are in this lifetime is not only an amazing thing for you to do, it's fun, it's juicy, it's joyful, it is the contribution you're designed to give to the world, and it's sacred. You're sacred. Your existence is sacred. So this week, use the power of these energies to really make sure that you're embracing the sacredness, embodying the sacredness of who you are and the story that you're living, and make sure the personal narratives you're telling about who you are true. Now, we still have Mars in the gate 6, which is that energy of impact, that energy of influence, but also sometimes the energy of war. It can be an energy that's rough and tense and provokes us and gets under our skin and penetrates us with emotional energy that can cause us to react. With the Cross the Vessel of Love energy that we're playing with, this is a beautiful time for you to explore. Are you really responding to the situations and the circumstances and the relationships in your life from the highest place of love possible? Are you creating love and the embodiment of peace on this planet, or are you creating even more tension? I would not be surprised if we see or continue to see this week in the global stage and in your personal lives, tension and disruption and things that get under your skin. Breathe. Breathe and recalibrate with the energy of love, the energy of possibility, the energy of abundance, the energy of sufficiency, and then react. And then react. Jupiter, the planet of blessings, moves into the gate 26, saying that we get blessings, we get rewarded for being in alignment with integrity, for being who we are and expressing the truth of who we are. Sorry, my daughter lives next to a train track. So I've been dodging trains all day trying to record this, so bear with me here for a second. That should be the last of it. I give up. I'm letting the train win. So with Jupiter moving through the 26, we are being given blessings. We are rewarded for being in integrity with who we are. The more you express your authentic self, the more you are blessed. And that's really the power of what Jupiter brings us. In conjunction with this, because this energy is about integrity, and it's about moral integrity and physical integrity and identity integrity and energy integrity and being authentic, being in integrity with who you are. If you have any places where you have a breach in integrity, if you are dealing with old traumas, old wounds, old places where you're still holding back from being the true expression of who you are because you've got trauma, this is a great week to really set the intention to clear that stuff out, to heal it, to bring it into harmony with the true story of who you really are. Neptune, last but not least, Neptune moves into the gate 63. We have energy this week that causes us to be profoundly intuitive, except I'm obviously not able to intuit when the next train is coming. So we have energy this week that's profoundly intuitive and simultaneously energy that's profoundly logical at the same time. When logic and intuition dance together, it causes the perfect storm for you to doubt yourself and for you to operate in the energy of self-doubt. This gives us a great opportunity to explore, what do we need to release? How do we need to bring ourselves back into integrity with the truth, with the awareness that you are fully supported, that you have everything you need, that you are designed to have a deep connection with Source, and that connection with Source communicates to you through intuition, and that you can trust yourself and your connection to Source, and ultimately learn to trust in the power and the sufficiency, the grace of the universe. So, summing it up this week, in case you couldn't hear me because the train was going by. Number one, recalibrate with love. Look at your goals and your intentions for the year. Make sure that you are fulfilling the fullest potential expression of your right place in the cosmic plan. Number two, breathe before you react. Number three, be in integrity and explore whether you have trauma or anything that's keeping you from being and living in integrity. Explore what needs to be released, healed, aligned, and brought to your awareness for you to fulfill the full potential of who you are as the contribution you're here to give to the world, and trust yourself. That's it. I hope you got all that. Have a good week. Take good care of yourselves. And remember, you are precious and your existence is a sacred, cosmic, once-in-a-lifetime event. Act that way.